Welcome back to Building Character, where we figure out how to play your favorite fictional characters in Dungeons & Dragons. Be sure to stick around for the end of the video for input on future builds, and remember that liking and subscribing is the best way to improve your rolls next time you play, probably. Today we're exploring the most badass college history professor of all time, Indiana Jones. First appearing in Steven Spielberg's Raiders of the Lost Ark in 1981, Indiana Jones is one of the most iconic film characters of all time. With a whip, a fedora, and some gruff charm, it's no surprise that his legacy has lasted untarnished for over 3 decades. Well, mostly untarnished. To start, we'll figure out our goals for this build. Number 1, we'll put the Doctor in Dr. Jones, making sure he is well versed in knowledge of lore and ancient artifacts. Second, we'll get him some fancy whip tricks to make an admittedly poor weapon into something pretty useful. Finally, we're going to make sure he's ready to delve dungeons and won't get killed by any ancient Rube Goldberg-esque traps. As always, we're using the standard point array from the player's handbook. Feel free to roll if you want, just use this as a guide for your highest and lowest stats. Intelligence is number 1. It's kind of embarrassing to play an archaeologist that fails a history check. Dexterity after that, while we don't have any skills that are going to be tied to this, it helps with saves against traps, so that's important. Wisdom after that, perception is big when exploring ancient ruins. Charisma next, any character played by Harrison Ford deserves a positive modifier here. Strength after that, he's in good shape, but it's not like he's lifting boulders over his head. And we're gonna dump Constitution. It's risky, and I don't normally advocate dropping Con, but we need everything else more. For your background, look into the Cloistered Scholar from the Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide. This gives you 2 free languages, history, and a skill of your choice. Take religion. I know there's a background for archaeologists, but this actually works better for the skills we need and still works with the character. We'll get expertise on history with the Historian feat. This is part of an unearthed arcana that's free online called Feats for Skills. It also gives you 1 extra intelligence and lets you add your proficiency to an ally's skill check if you pass a DC 15 history check. Even at level 1, you've got +7 to history, so anything higher than an 8 will help. You could take this feat as a variant human, which also allows you to know another free language of your choice and gives you 2 skill points, put them into Dex and Intelligence. For your free skill, take Arcana to round out your fancy smart boy knowledge. Pro tip here, if you're multi-classing and plan on taking any level of Rogue, start with the Rogue level. You get 4 skills from the list, take Investigation, Perception, Persuasion, and Athletics. You also get Expertise with 2 skills of your choice. Arcana and Religion will make sure you're nailing almost every knowledge check, so take those. There's also Sneak Attack, which lets you add 1d6 damage to attacks when you have advantage, or if an ally is within 5 feet of your target. You have to use a ranged or finesse weapon. A whip is a finesse weapon that deals 1d4 and has a 10-foot range, meaning you can stay out of melee range, which is good because you're squishy. We'll jump into Artificer for 1 level after this, giving you magical item analysis, letting you cast detect magic and identify as rituals without spell slots or material components. You can also be a gunsmith and get a thunder cannon that deals 2d6 piercing damage with a range of 150 feet. It's 2-handed, so choose a whip or a gun depending on the situation. You also get proficiency with Tinkerer's tools, which is fun if not frequently useful. For a 3rd level, we're taking a 3rd class, and I know it sounds complicated, but Wizards of the Coast hasn't created the Fedora Knight class, so we've got to be creative. Level 1 fighters get Second Wind, healing 1d10 plus their fighter level as a bonus action and a fighting style. Take Duelist, this lets you add 2 to damage when you're holding a weapon in one hand, like your whip, which can now deal decent damage when combined with your sneak attack. Level 2 fighters get Action Surge, meaning you can take an extra action once per long rest. Level 3 fighters get a martial archetype, and this is what we were aiming for. Battlemaster fighters get Maneuvers, which are special types of attacks that use superiority die. You have 4 superiority die at this level, and they are d8s. You can learn 3 maneuvers. Disarming Strike adds that d8 to your damage and forces a strength save on a creature you're attacking of 8 plus your proficiency plus your dex mod. Failing that, they'll drop their weapon. Trip Attack does the same thing, but instead of dropping your weapon, they fall prone. Fainting Attack lets you use your bonus action to feint for advantage on your attack, meaning you can add your d8 superiority die and the d6 sneak attack damage to an attack. You also get proficiency with some Artisan's tools. Mason's tools might help you while examining ruins, but that's up to the DM. Level 4 fighters get an ability score improvement or a feat. Dungeon Delver gives you advantage on investigation and perception checks to find secret doors, resistance to damage from traps, advantage on saves against traps, and you can search for them at a normal pace rather than a slow pace. Level 5 fighters get an extra attack, so double the whipping, double the fun. This doesn't work with your Thunder Cannon, as you do have to reload it as a bonus action in between firing. Level 6 fighters get an ability score improvement or a feat. The Linguist feat gives you 1 intelligence, 3 languages, putting your total at 7 if you include common, and it lets you write secret codes. With that, we've hit all of our goals, but let's just keep going for fun. Level 2 rogues get cunning action, meaning they can dash, disengage, or hide as bonus action. This is pretty good for keeping your distance, but it'll get even better soon. Level 3 rogues get to choose a roguish archetype. Look at the Scout from Xanathar's Guide to Everything. You get Skirmisher, which lets you move half your movement as a reaction when an enemy ends its turn within 5 feet of you, and that movement doesn't provoke opportunity attacks. It's free disengagement, which is really good. You also get Survivalist, which gives you not only proficiency with nature and survival, but expertise with both skills as well. Your sneak attack damage is also now 2d6. Level 4 rogues get an ability score improvement. Throw both points into Dex. Your intelligence is already +4 at this point. This will bring Dex up to that same level. Level 5 rogues get Uncanny Dodge, letting you use your reaction to have the damage from an attack as long as you can see the attacker. Your sneak attack damage is also now 3d6. At 6th level, you can take expertise in 2 more skills. Investigation and Perception will make you even better at finding artifacts. This is total level 13, so your proficiency bonus is now 5 standard or 10 with expertise. With the 7th level of Battle Master, you'll get another superiority die and another maneuver. Distracting Strike doesn't have a save. Just add your superiority dice to the damage, and the next ally to make an attack against that enemy has advantage on their roll. You also get to know your enemy, meaning if you've studied a creature for 1 minute or more, you know certain things about it. The categories you can check into are Strength, Dex, and Con scores, AC, HP, total level, or fighter level. When you use this ability, your DM will tell you if they are equal, higher, or lower in those areas. You can pick 2 of them to look into. Level 8 fighters get an ability score improvement. Cap off your dexterity here, as you've already got expertise in virtually every intelligence skill, so your dex needs more help. Back to Rogue now. Level 7 will give you Evasion, letting you take half damage on failed dex saves and no damage on successes, which pairs well with a really high dex bonus and advantage on saves against traps. Your sneak attack is also now 4d6, which is really nice. Level 8 rogues get another ability score improvement, take some more intelligence, and cap that off at 20. Level 9 scout rogues get superior mobility for an extra 10 feet of movement, and your sneak attack damage increases again, now 5d6. 10th level rogue is another ability score improvement. Round off anything odd here. This is our last chance to get any higher modifiers. Our capstone is going to be rogue level 11, which gives you reliable talent, meaning you can't roll lower than a 10 on skills you have proficiency with. So for your expertise skills, you have a minimum of 22 before adding ability scores. That's insanely good and guarantees that your allies will get +6 to every skill check from your historian feat. Oh, and now your sneak attack does 66 extra damage. Now that we've hit level 20, let's talk about how viable this build is. To start off, rogues are excellent skill monkeys, and specializing in the knowledge skills makes sure you're not missing out on any of the lore your DM wrote. You've also got some consistent, if a little weird, damage rolls with a +7 damage modifier, 2 attacks per round, and superiority die to help you get that extra sneak attack damage once per round. Finally, you've got ways in and out of combat, with reach on your melee weapon, scout abilities, and cunning action. Problem is, those are really necessary for this build. You'll probably have less than 100 health at level 20, so find someone else to take the damage. The whole build isn't really well suited to combat in general, more invested in exploration. It's great for that kind of campaign, but you'll be in danger if your DM is more interested in a boss fight than the dungeon leading up to it. Finally, you've got a limited amount of maneuvers, so you'll have to decide when to use them carefully. Overall, Dr. Jones is a researcher first and a fighter second. As long as he's got allies to work with, he should be a huge asset inside the dungeon. Just remember to be careful. One wrong move and that ancient tomb becomes your tomb. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, I build a new character every week. I'm considering doing a Star Wars character sometime next month. I need your help to figure out which one. Your options are Chewbacca, Yoda, or Obi-Wan. Also come back next week as I'm brewing up something special for you.